But Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. We are back. We are live. We are unrelenting. I don't know. I hope you're all doing well. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. You will be happy to know that tomorrow is my last day of training, which means I'll be then back on your YouTube screens much more often. I know you've missed me. Last 2 days I've been under the weather as well. As you can tell, I look tired, man. I look tired. I've been a little bit ill. So I've not even been at work the last 2 days. I'm back at work tomorrow. But yeah, all doing well. All doing well. I hope you are all doing well. And we're back, man. We're back. We're back on the Just Joe Football Show. You'll be happy to know as well. Adam, I know, right? Like, I've been feeling it myself. Like, the final word was the last piece of content, which was Sunday night. It's now, you know, Thursday. It's mad. I'm doing well, Hannah. Nice to see you. I miss you as well, Ethan. Training's gone good. Finish tomorrow. Bully B, I know we need to get it back, man. I seen you commenting, and it was too late to get a WWE, but that's gonna all be back. Big up Juan as well. I don't know if you know, big up Dylan, my man, as well. Listen, Juan has been setting the cat amongst the pigeons on some Crystal Palace stuff on about Jesse Marsh. And now I'm seeing Crystal Palace accounts tweeting stuff about Jesse Marsh. It's brilliant. I love Juan. So listen, you'll be happy to know as well, because we're getting to the business end of the season and we know who our sort of like competitors are when it comes to the relegation running. The watch-alongs are going to return as well. So I'm going to do a watch-along tomorrow night because Forest take on Newcastle. Obviously, Leeds watch-along on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll be doing Arsenal versus Crystal Palace as well, because Crystal Palace are well in there. Crystal Palace are well in there now. You know, a win for Leeds United, we climb up. There's so many teams involved, talking up to about 13th. So whenever these teams are on, I'm going to be on as well, right? Because we know these games are they're gonna impact our season. You know what I mean? I know, like, the players and Javi saying, "Oh, we can only concentrate on ourselves," etc. And people go, "Oh, you know, you shouldn't really be bothered about other teams and all that sort of stuff." But we have to be. You know what I mean? We have to be all eyes on that. I was going to do Chelsea-Everton, but Saturday Leeds United content, it'd be too much because I have my preview out tomorrow. I do my watch-along, and then I do my post-match. I don't want to do Chelsea versus Everton on top of that. You know what I mean? But we'll have all eyes on that as well. Big up Nige D, Racing Fan, Alison Adams, Tom Bennett. You know you are. Bully B, my main man, JC. 9 points between 12th and 20th. It's going to be a crazy running. It is indeed. Listen, there's 95 people watching. We've only got 32 likes. Please do smash a like on the video. Let's get it over 100 likes if we can. 100 people. Listen, we were hitting some crazy numbers, but when you take your foot off the gas, people forget about you, man. People, not the OGs, though. You OGs, members, Gail, Dale, Danny Rumsey, everyone, Alison, all of you. You know you are. You know you are. Mark Jones is here as well. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do just that, because I've been trying to do much more of the YouTube shorts. Have you seen Arne Slot's Feyenoord have just beaten Shakhtar like 7 or 8 or 9-0 or something like that? It's a mad one. He's going elsewhere, isn't he? Listen, we're gonna chat about Javi Gracia's press conference, and we're also gonna chat about Luke Ayling as well, because Luke Ayling did an interview on TalkSport. I don't know if you've seen that. Michael O'Donnell, no. Don't get it twisted. Crystal Palace have not won a game yet this year. Crystal Palace, prior to the Brighton game, hadn't registered a shot on target in 3 games, which was the first time any team has done that since Opta started recording stats. I don't know when Opta started recording stats, but to say they're not in it is a madness because they have not won a game this year. And as I said, for 3 games, they didn't register a shot on target. Patrick Vieira, people are on about him getting the sack. So don't get it twisted. Everyone up to Crystal Palace. Like, look, all we have to look at is to see where Leeds United, if Leeds United get a result, I think we're a point behind Crystal Palace. So, like, it's so tight. If I just have a look at the standings, Crystal Palace in 12th are on 27. We're on 23. So if we were to win and Crystal Palace lose against Arsenal away, which they probably will, then we're a point behind them. So to say they'll have enough and is not in trouble is mad. It's mad. It's crazy. Like every week, this is what I mean. Luke Ayling said something in his interview with TalkSport with Jim White talking about you can't really look at the league table right now, and you can't. Like, of course, we're 19th, but it is so tight down there that you win, you can move to 14th. It's mad. It's mad. So it's not like seasons gone by where you've got 2 teams and then there's just you and one other battling for that final spot. There's loads, man. There is loads. Southampton 22, Leeds on 23, Bournemouth on 24, West Ham on 24, Leicester on 24, Everton on 25, Forest on 26, Wolves and Palace on 27. Then the next jump's 35, Villa. They're sound. But from Palace down, it's too tight. It's too tight. So, yeah, man. And not in a good way, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe it is a good way for Leeds United because that means that like 2 wins in this running on the bounce, you can start to go, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. And I want to just say on Javi as well, because I don't know if we're giving him as much props as we should, because in the league, he's got 4 points in 3 games. And we went away to Chelsea. And we played Brighton, who for me, I'm in the 7th. They're one of the best footballing sides in the league. So 4 points is not a bad return. And we were better than Fulham. We were the better side against Fulham. So, Javi's doing bits. Let's see what he had to say anyway. Let's see what our man Javi Gracia had to say. He had to do a lot of defending his tactics against Brighton, and we're going to chat about that because I said during the watch along, those that watch me, I didn't get the boos. Obviously, being in the ground, I get it. Like, it's frustrating watching us not press 100 mile an hour after what we've been conditioned to watch for so long. But he had to defend it. Like someone said, the fans and Javi Gracia was so bullish with his answer. I rated what he had to say. Let's talk with the big news though. The title on the thumbnail, Tyler Adams out. Phil here broke that news yesterday. I wonder if the club are disappointed that news got out to Phil, like before the press conference, because Javi probably wouldn't have said anything. I don't know. He don't really like to talk about injured players. I don't think he sees them as part of... Like, if you're injured, you're no use to me, is his kind of stick. Which, that'll work with some players. Other players won't like it, but at the end of the day, when he's getting asked about Forshaw, Dallas, etc., he's never see these players on the grass. So he's like, what? They're not even there. Like, why are you asking me about these? And it's more a case of, I can only work with what I've got, so I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. And that's probably the right attitude to have. Do you know what I mean? Bully B says he's a proper footballing man, Javi. He lives for it, and I agree. And do you know what? Someone responded to me on Twitter. I'm going to give them props because it was a great response, actually. Just bear with me one moment, because where is it said? We're playing, because I said Javi Gracia has had to defend himself, and this guy Niels Diamond. It might be Neil. He might be in the chat, maybe. Niels Diamond says adult football rather than that goon talking about star signs and Netflix. And I love it. And we're going to talk about my main man, Jesse, as well a little bit later on, because there was something that made me laugh as well. And I thought, I can't wait to say it. They're scared, man. They're scared. But let's talk about it. I need that. I need to have that MGK. Let's talk about it. You know, that rap that he did for Eminem. Let's talk about it. Eminem beasted him, but yeah, I just like that. Let's talk about it. So I'm gonna have to get that. But let's talk with maybe that's cagey. Cagey talk with Tyler Adams. Let's talk about Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams is out. He's with the specialist. We have other players. Tyler is key for us, but we have to manage with the squad that we have. And that's important, right? Straight from the bat, Tyler is key, but we have to manage without him. He was asked by Adam Pope who will replace him and what he does. And he did come out and say, listen, no one's like him. He's very different to the others. No one's like him within the squad. But we have other players and they're ready. You know, he spoke about before we played with Mark Rocker and Adams, we played with McKennie and Adams. You probably imagine it's going to be McKennie and Rocker, right? But he did say this is the moment for them. This is the moment for them to step up. You know, whoever it will be to replace him, it is the moment for them to step up. And Joe Donahue asked him about Darko JB. I know there's a lot of people mentioning JB in the chat as well, and I can understand why Joe Donahue always takes an angle of the under-21s, etc., but he watches them a lot. I get it. He wants to, you know, find out about their progression, etc. So he asked about Darko specifically. And he said, look, he is an option, but he says we have Mark, we have McKennie, we have Darko. He mentioned Archie Gray as well. And he said we will choose the best option for us. I very rarely... I don't see him throwing Darko JB into this big game. He'll go with Matt Rocker and McKennie for me. I'll be very, very shocked. Very, very shocked if he lumps for an Archie Gray or a Darko JB. They're options off the bench. But I just don't see him making them starters in this massive winner-takes-all game against Wolves. Do you? And the way Javi was speaking quite bullish is like he wants 3 points. He's coming for 3 points. He's coming for 3 points. And we need 3 points. Would you take a point on the road? I don't know. Would you? Forest coming up at home? But then the worry is April's such a big month for us, but May's brutal. May, you could argue, we won't get any points. So we need to get some. We need to get some. So, and Michael, you make a great point as well that Tyler hasn't been at it the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's a blessing in disguise, but I agree with you. Like, Tyler Adams has not been great for the last couple of games. I think we can all say that. I think he had his worst game against, was it Chelsea? And then he wasn't great last time out against Brighton either. I think he's been asked to do too much with the ball, and he's not that great with the ball. And I said, people who've watched me from the start, I said, I did say that Tyler Adams' passing isn't the best. And maybe that's, you know, why he's looking so out of sorts, maybe, you know? And maybe that's why we needed someone different to McKennie to facilitate that. I've seen a lot of people saying, like, maybe we should have got Unahi. Big shout out to Connor as well, who mentioned that. Props where props are due. Unahi, you could have got Gyökeres instead of Rutter. I do think there's a great player in Rutter. We've seen the compilations doing the rounds, but he's not what we needed right now. Carl Davis makes a good point, and maybe Tyler Adams be carrying something, and that's why he's not being great. And now he's got, you know, an issue. Bully B mentions about it being systematic. This is what I'm saying. It could well be that, right? Like a lot of the players that were brought in to fit to fit Jesse's system. And the thing is with Tyler as well, like he did a lot of what Calvin could do, but he could never spray that ball like Calvin could. You know what I mean? Different systems. But we'll see. But I think he'll go with Rocker and McKennie. And I think he'd be mad to go anywhere different, really. And that's just my opinion. I think it's a lot to throw in Darko JB in such a big game. I don't know. We'll see. Listen, 194 people watching. If you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video for me. It'd be great if you could do that. My good friend Ash has just reached out to me. Juan Martinez saying, please don't play the sex sounds on your stream, mate. I'm at work. I promise I won't, bro. Although that's like a red rag to a bull. I'm like, I've got to play them BBC sex sounds now. but I won't. So he was then asked about how tight it is at the bottom. We spoke about it at the top of the show, how tight it is at the bottom, and how, he was asked, is it good that there are so many teams being involved? And I think it is, right? Like, it's so much better that there are so many teams involved. It means it's going to go all the way to the wire. And one win, two. If you can put punches in bunches, if you can get 3 or 4, we've only won 5 games all season, man. Imagine scenes. But if you can get 2 wins on the spin or 2 wins and a couple of draws, like, you could just literally start to climb up the table. So it is good that there's so many teams down there. And Javi did say, look, we'll just try focus on the next game. We know it's going to be like this till the end of the season, and we will fight till the end. And the good thing is, and Luke Ayling touched on this in his interview, is like, the players have been here before now. The players have been here before. They were here last season. You get a lot of experience from that. You could argue, looking around, maybe even Crystal Palace fall into that. Nottingham Forest. Not a lot of players there have experience of being in this sort of mire. Everton do. Have been there and done that. Even the likes of Tarkowski and stuff. They've been there and done that with Burnley. Southampton, not really. They've always flirted with it, but not really been in the mire like they find themselves now. So, it would it counts for a lot, experience, right? It counts for a lot. So he said, look, we'll fight till the end. I know the objective was to stay in the league when I came in, and I'm confident of doing that, He was asked psychologically what a win against Wolves would do. He said, always it's good to win. Of course it is. But he mentioned the international break. Now, normally I can't stand international breaks, but as a Leeds United fan, I think it's coming at the best time. Luke Ayling said it. I think a lot of yous will think it. And Juan said, it's important to get a win against Wolves or a positive result, because what that then does while we're on the international break, it creates a good atmosphere. So it is such an important game, this. Like, we can't lose, because then there's a negative atmosphere. If results don't go our way, we've then got a week and a half, whatever it is, 10 days of going, oh, God, we didn't win that game. So he stressed it, quite a lot that it was important we got a win for that international break. And I'm looking forward to the international break. Not even for England, Jamie, the Southgate, or Juan, my man. I've seen you tweeting about Southgate and his lineups. I was poorly, man. I thought I can't be entertaining Ash and his hatred of Gareth at this point in my day, so I just left it. But I think regardless of what you'll do on the international break, it's important that Leeds United get a win, so that then they have 2 weeks, 10 days of pure like getting his ideas across. But even better if we were to get a win against Wolves. And he stressed that point as well. Just while we're on the international stuff, Cooper being called up. He was asked if he's in contention. Listen, you know me, I'm staunch Cooper supporter, but he doesn't get back in this side now. Cooper's Leeds United career is coming to an end for me. And Javi basically rubber stamped that for me. He said, look, he's out of the team. He's been out of the team for some time. He's very important on the pitch when he's involved, but off the pitch as well. I think it's game over for Cooper. I don't think we'll see any more of Liam unless someone gets injured. I think our centre-back, well, it's a settled back 4 now. Back 5 if you count Mellier. I was listening to Square Ball earlier, and they said it's the first time in like 4 years or something that Firpo would have played 5 games on the spin, which is mad. But it's great. No, don't be switching Volber into midfield. For me, keep that settled back 4, because that settled back 4 has looked good. Don't change your back 4. If you can have the same back 4 for every single game, I think most managers would keep it. It's nice to have you continuity at the back. The centre backs know where the other person is, etc. Cooper coming in there, yeah, great leader on and off the pitch. But for me, Volber and Koch. And listen, I was saying early parts of the season, I don't get the clamour for Koch. Big up to Leeds United view. I am sorry as well, mate. As I came live, I noticed you were live, and I was like, oh, damn. So sorry, bro. But yeah, I just had to get this out. But my bad. Love you, man. I hope you will be there for the final words Sunday night as Leeds United pick up 3 points and we have a sound international break, knowing that Leeds United are climbing up the table. But yeah, I think it's game over for Cooper, and I'm okay with that. And I'm a staunch Cooper supporter. So if I'm saying it, I know those that reckon he's League One Liam will be buzzing, won't they? They'll be buzzing. Make sure you go check out Leeds United The View with Jura as well, by the way. The guy's a ledge. So he was asked about Lopetegui. Again, I love how bullish Javi is, right? Because Adam Pope asked him a question about Lopetegui, and he answered it against Wolves, and he said, look, it'll be very demanding against Wolves. They're playing well with good players. I expect a very demanding game, but at the same time, I expect a good result for us. This is what he said, yeah? So he was quite bullish. And then Adam Pope pressed him further and went, yeah, but Lopetegui, and he just went different games, different league, different time. And I was like, yeah, don't need to know about that stuff. He didn't want to answer that question. Forget about Lopetegui, forget about friendships. This is a different time. Leeds United need results now. And this is where we get to the really stuff that got sort of me going as a fan, and I really like Javi. I do like him, and I like his tactical nous. You might not like the style of play, but the way that he adopted the tactics against Brighton got us a point. If he'd have pressed high up the pitch, hell for leather, we'd have got picked off and would have been like West Ham getting beat 4-0. This is what I believe. More than you can believe. And Brighton, he was asked, the Brighton plan worked. Have you done something similar? He said, every game is different and we will manage the game different to Wolves. We are prepared and we've done really well this week. He spoke about like how they may change in game, because he was asked specifically about the game of football, and he went, well, listen, I can't give you any idea on that because it all depends on how the game changes. But when he started to talk about, if they play this way or they have this personnel, you just know that he's analysed so much of what Wolves are going to throw up, you know? And it's drummed into the players so that if, they do switch system, the players got, right, okay, we know where we need to be now. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I like. And he was asked about the fans being frustrated. If you remember at the time, I said, why they booing? I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're booing. On reflection, being at the game, if I was at the game, I get it. You know what I mean? I had the luxury of watching at home and can see it and think, you know what, we're doing the right things here. Those at the game, used to Leeds United pressing hell for leather for 90 minutes. We're like, what's going on? Why are we not pressing steel here? Why are we letting the centre-backs pass it between themselves, etc.? And Javi was asked about that. I don't know why he was pressed on it. I don't know why he has to defend it. He shouldn't have to. We got a point against Brighton. But he said, I understand because we only got the point. But the way we did it, the players deserved the credit. They were given a plan and they stuck to that plan. Because you could argue fans getting on your back, it might make you want to go, we'll go again. I'll press. And then we get picked off. Away fans are laying doesn't help. No, you're right. And he did say to him, I know sometimes we need to press more. But I also know what would happen if we did that. And he was right. Had we have pressed hell for leather, we'd have got picked apart. You know that, and I know that. He said, I believe in these players, and they will execute the plan that I put out there for them. Maybe next time we'll be more aggressive. I think against Forest at home, we'll be more aggressive. I think against Palace at home, we'll be more aggressive. There is a time and a place, especially where we find ourselves right now. And I would rather have a manager like Javi, who's going to adapt his style for certain individuals to try and keep us in the league, than just doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And that goes for both Jesse and for Marcelo. And that pains me to say it, but it's true. It's true. Now, he says, I'd like to see them pressing high, but we need a balance. And we work on this every day. We work on this every day. The guy, you just know that no stone is unturned with Javi. For me, no stone is unturned. Like he for me has the Bielsa work ethic in terms of analysing teams, etc. You know, Jesse did do none of that. Jesse first came in, I think, when he was talking about Norwich, who were bottom of the league, and he turned to his mates, whoever they were at the time. I mean, it was a haphazard coaching team that the club just threw together. I don't know what they were playing at. And they were going, bloody hell, these are good, man. This is the Premier League, bro. Of course they were good. Of course they were good. Whereas Javi's already knows, he's coming with stats. He's saying, yeah, we've conceded this. These have done this. You know what I mean? He'd already analysed Leeds United. And I heard it off Jer before. Like, he really impressed the 49ers with his understanding. And look, since he's come in the league, we've got 4 points from 3 games. And we've played Brighton, who are one of the best footballing sides in the league. We've been away at Chelsea, and we shouldn't really have lost that. And we're beating Southampton at home. Continuing that vein, we stay up. Graham says, spot on, Joe. We need pragmatism right now, bro. Agree with you, bro. And that's what he's doing, right? Don't go hell for leather. We need balance. And I think he's given us that. So he was then asked about the plan for Wolves, and he says, does it affect you because you can't rely on Rodrigo or Bamford? Like, you can't say, oh, Rodrigo's going to be fit or Bamford's going to be fit. So does that then affect the plan going into Wolves? And he said, look, and again, he doesn't mourn. This is very Bielsa-like as well. He doesn't bitch and mourn. He said, look, the more players, the more plans I can have, but I don't complain. We have to get 3 points regardless. Regardless of who's available, we have to get 3 points. Come back to that thing when he's asked about injured players, etc. You can tell it just don't, like, I don't need to worry about them right now. The doctors are looking after him. When they're ready, I'll then worry about them. Do you know what I mean? So he's not going to complain about that. He was asked specifically, Rodrigo, Bamford, will they be able to play 90 minutes? He said, I cannot tell you this until I speak with the doctors. He wouldn't tell you anyway. He didn't want to give Wolves or Lopetegui any sort of, a leg up on this game. He was asked more in minutia about Bamford, about his next goal being his 50th career goal. Is he back, etc.? He said, look, I told you after the last game we had to control his minutes, same as Rodrigo, same as Sinisterra. I expect the best from Pat between now and the end of the season. And hopefully we see the best. But like I said before, and I'm a big Patrick Bamford fan, I'm a big Cooper fan, but you know, I've said now, like, Patrick Bamford could score in every single game between now and the end of the season, and we could stay up. I still want a replacement for Pat. His time is up for me. His time is up. Jamie says, if we stay up, I say we go for Arne Slot as manager. I'd just give it Javi, mate. I'm sorry, I would. I would give it Javi Gracia. He deserves a crack at it. And Slot, to be fair, much like Leeds United with players, the likes of Gavardiol, the likes of Gakpo, all these players, Slot will go somewhere else now across Europe. Slot might even win the European Cup. He might win, you know, the league and the domestic cup in Holland. You know, their chairman was coming out saying he's in the same ilk of Ten Hag. He should do better than Leeds. Yeah, CB's on about it. Yeah, their director of football, whatever, came out and said he needs to do better than Leeds, which is hard for us to take, but yeah. If Javi keeps us up, then I'm okay with him getting the job because he deserves that chance for me. He was then asked about Dallas, and he said, look, him and Forshaw, they're out of the team. They're out of the team. Like, why? We don't need to talk about them. You know what I mean? Speak to the doctors kind of vibe, and I get that. He was asked about Rasmus. Obviously, Rasmus, unfortunately, left out of the Denmark team. Rasmus is just not great for me. People have a go at Luke, but it'd be worse with him in the side. I believe Cody's been doing bits again on loan. Maybe he comes back into the fray. Maybe if he was still in the squad, then Javi would have used him more. But I still think, you know, Luke can do a job, and his leadership qualities are second to none. And he's had good games. Yes, he wasn't great against Matoma, but Matoma's one of the best wingers in the league. You know, he's one of the best. So yeah, I still love Luke. And he said, look, I understand that Rasmus will be upset about not getting in the Danish squad, but his attitude is great and he's always tried to help the team. When we had issues at centre-back against Fulham, he went up to Javi and said, listen, if you want me to play that, I will play there. He said, no one can question his professionalism. So that's good to know as well, because behind the scenes, he's not spitting his dummy out. He's not creating a scene. He'll just be working hard, trying to get himself back involved. Luke Aylin's earned himself a year extension now, which means it's going to be tougher for him. Will Leeds United sell Cody? Will he sign a new deal? If not, it'll be Rasmus challenging Luke next season as well, right? So moving on, Phil here asked him about Southampton and said you had to you had to wait for your moment. Will it be the same against Wolves? And this is where he said, look, the game depends on them also, not just us, but we've got to be competitive. We will try to be aggressive. We know how important this game will be. We are always working to be the best prepared, you know. And then he started to talk about their different shapes, different personnel, etc. And I like that about him, you know. He's prepared. He lives, eats, and breathes football. Big up to you, Robert, who says, miss you. Life is not the same without you. We're back now, man. We're back. I've been ill for the last couple of days. I've been working in training for a long time. That's now done as of tomorrow. I'll be back on my shifts, only 4 days a week. Nighttime hours, we're going to be nice. You'll be seeing a lot more of me. And I want that to be the case because I've missed you as well. Someone said you seem very calm. And this is where we're going to talk about, you know, we're going to talk about Jersey. He said, you seem very calm. You've been characterized as a safe pair of hands. Do you like the stress, the pressure? He said, I don't. And he asked, what do you do to relax? He says, I don't relax. I feel it inside. And I help my players by being confident. So even if he's not confident, he's going to say he's confident, if you get what I'm saying. It won't help them if I stress and shout. I give what my players need. Now, think to Bielsa as well, right? My man never stressed and shouted on the sideline, really. He gave a team a goal, for God's sake. Now, if you compare that with Jesse, who was on the sideline going, they're scared, man. They're scared out there. Do you know what I mean? And screaming and shouting and getting himself kicked into the stands all the time. That reflects on the players, right? So he's saying, like, regardless of what's going on inside, I have to portray myself like this so that my players are also confident as well. And that's what you need. That's what you need. So big up to Javi for not being an absolute clown like the previous manager. But we move. Javi speaking well. Going to be prepared. Leeds United hopefully can pick up 3 points against Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's going to be tough, though. It's going to be tough. Now, Luke Aylin did an interview with TalkSport, and he was asked about what life was like under the new manager. And he said, we're playing a style of football that suits the players we've got. Remember, Javi came in and said that, right? He's not just like wedded to one way. If my methods are going to suit these players and that players, we'll switch it up. And he says it suits the players we've got. It's been a positive start. I know Leeds fans, some don't believe it has, but it has. You know, Luke says it's only 4 points, but it's a good return in 3 Premier League games. We've had Chelsea away, and Brighton are one of the best teams in the league. We are in a good spot. And I know that might not seem it when you think we dropped down to 19th, but if you consider in them 3 games we've got 4 points, it's a decent return. It's a decent return. He was asked now, Dylan, man, you know, man. They're scared, man. Javi versus Jesse, he said they're very different in their style and we now play wide. Our best players are wide players. I mean, why would you not want to play that way? He wants us to play more, which is good, and trust ourselves more, which is good because we have good footballers at the football club. You know, we have good footballers at the football club. Jamie says it's funny how the narrative changes. We should have got something against Chelsea. Yes, we should. I agree. But what, mate, I can't be an eternal pessimist like you, Jamie, because that's what you are, brother. I love you, but you are always negative. So I'm trying to sprinkle you with a bit of positive. I do agree we should have got something against Chelsea, right? But we didn't. Now, since that result, Chelsea haven't lost a game. Chelsea were always a good side. Do you know what I mean? They just weren't getting results. Now they're getting results, you know. But I love you all the same, Jamie. I love you all the same. He was asked what life was like under him, and he said, "Look, we're playing a style." Oh, I just read that bit. Jamie's knocked me off, but Luke Ayling believes we're in a good spot. Now the league table might not say that, but I get what he's trying to say. 4 points from 3 games is good. It's not bad, you know. So he was asked about Javi versus Jesse, which again I've already done. Jamie knocked me off my Dean. But we have good footballers. And Jim White says there's 5 points separating you up to like 13th. And he said, look, it's mad. There's so many teams in it. 3 from 8 teams could go down. Whereas before you may be looking at 3 from 5, 3 from 4. Now it's 3 from 8. That's better for Leeds United. We've just got to concentrate on ourselves. League position right now doesn't matter. 2 wins can change it all. But Luke did say, look, wins are hard to come by. We've only got 5 this season. I think we've got lowest in the Premier League. So there's a little bit of like realism there as well. And Jim White pushed him on the fact that Bournemouth beat Liverpool. Southampton got a point against Manchester United. You know, how did that feel? You can't catch a break, etc. And he said, yeah, there will be more ups and downs, you know. There will be more ups and downs between now and the end of the season. And we have to blank it out. We have to blank out what others are doing. Otherwise, we'll go into the games with the wrong mindset. And it is true, you know, like let's say we play one Sunday, you don't then want to be, you know, all results have gone against you. Like we play Monday, don't we, against Liverpool soon? Like all results go against you. We've got Liverpool at Ellen Road. You don't then want to be going, oh no, like all results have gone against us. We're on a downward spiral, etc. And then you're going in with the wrong mindset going into Liverpool. I get it. He did say that first goals in games are massive. We've got to keep plugging away. And he stressed that importance about getting that first goal. It'd be nice for Leeds United to do that. If you look at that Fulham game in the FA Cup, if we get that first goal, we win that game for sure. I still think it's great we came back against Brighton, because I was worried as a fan when we went 1-0 down. I was thinking it's game over. You know, he said that the international break was coming at a good time for manager to get his ideas across. I agree completely with that. And he was asked about Leeds staying up, and he said we've been here before around this stage of the season, around this position, and we pulled through. Players are coming back. Rodrigo Sinisterra, huge, and we're playing okay. Things will change for us. And then he gave lots of props to the fans, naturally, because home or away, Leeds United fans take numbers, you know? So lots to be positive about. The club, the players, not so much the club, the players and the manager saying the right things. It's a huge game against Wolves, a massive game in the context of our season. If we win, it's huge, right? If we win, it's huge. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Win the game, go into the international break full of positives, come back against Arsenal, write that one off, and then we've got Palace, right? Or is it Forest? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you now. So, no, sorry. Yeah, so we come back, we've got Arsenal, and then we've got Forest on a Tuesday night at Ellen Road under the lights. We'll make it happen. Listen, you'll have your preview tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a watch along of the Newcastle Forest game. Up the Geordies for that one. I'll then be doing a watch along on Saturday for Leeds versus Wolves. Then on Sunday, we're going to be doing Arsenal versus Palace. Big up the Gunners. Because all these games involving that are going to be big for the context of Leeds United season. Like, if we win against Wolves and Palace lose to Arsenal, we're a point behind them, you know, and they're in 13th. So, or 12th, whatever it is. There are reasons to be positive. Roy says, why write Arsenal off, Joe? Have you seen them, bro? Have you seen them? I'm just not confident that we go to Arsenal and get a result. Like, of course, stranger things have happened. Bournemouth beat Liverpool. We beat Liverpool at Anfield. we're the only team since October to take points from Old Trafford. That's wrong now. Actually, Southampton did as well. But it's going to be tough. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be tough out there. So I'm not going into that game saying if we don't win, oh my God, we're going down. We didn't beat Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe we can get a point, Roy. That's the spirit. Maybe we can. I just say we won't. Wolves away, 3 points. Arsenal come back, is what it is. And then Tuesday night against Forest, followed by Palace. Huge out there. Huge. It's good times. It's good times. We're going to be all right come the end of the season. Reasons to be positive. Javi's a top manager, speaks really well. Luke Aylin's speaking all the right things coming out of the football club. We move. Listen, I'm going to be live at 9 o'clock over on Bookmakers TV with Gav. If you want to join me for that, I'm just going to quickly drop a retweet on that as well. There's going to be me and Tottenham fan and also Gav. So yeah, FA Cup quarter-final weekend and a huge weekend in the course of the Big Six, bottom six. We wish we were in the Big Six. So make sure you join me for that over on Bookmakers TV. I've retweeted it on my Twitter. That's on at 9. What is it now? 45 minutes away. Join us for that. Tomorrow, I'll put my preview when I finish work. I'll be back about 6-ish. I'll put the preview out. Then we'll do the Newcastle versus Forest game. Come on the Geordies. I'll see you Saturday for a whole day worth of Leeds United content as Leeds beat Wolves. Then on Sunday, we're going to watch Arsenal terrorise Palace and us just a point behind them and looking nice. But yeah, thanks always for watching. Sorry I've been missing, but it's good to be back. And I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out now. Leeds.